guys, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel. When we went to Walt Disney World last month, we were able to experience the After Hours Magic event at the Magic Kingdom. This is a hard ticketed event, and today I'm bringing you my full review and if I think it is worth the splurge. So if you're new around here, the first thing I'd love for you to do is subscribe so you can be part of all of the fun. Make sure you hit the bell notification so that you don't miss a thing. But we talk about Disney here. We talk about Disney Cruise Line. We talk about Disneyland, Disney World, Disney Vacation Club. And I like to bring you guys reviews of these hard ticketed events because for the most part, they are very expensive. So we're talking about things like the Halloween party, the Christmas party, the events where the park is closed to everyone except those who have a ticket. Now, we attended the Magic Kingdom Extra Magic Hours event on January, what day was it? I want to say it was January the 6th. The cost for that particular night was $99, and we did get a Disney Vacation Club discount. The event is 3 hours long, so that is just not very long. 3 hours goes by really fast, but you do not need to have purchased theme park admission for that day. Now, we all had park hoppers, and I have an annual pass, so we already had park admission, but let's say that if you were a local resident or maybe you were there for business and you didn't have a park hopper ticket or you didn't want to burn through a ticket medium for that day, you do not need to have regular park ticket. Once you've purchased the ticket to the Extra Magic event, that is all you need to get into the park. Golly, I hope that made sense. So we were able to get into the park as early as 7 o'clock with our ticket, although the event didn't actually start until 8, and it went from 8 p.m. until 11 p.m. Now, we did make sure we had a good amount of food. The park was pretty busy when we arrived. I think we got there at about 6 p.m. We ended up eating at Crystal Palace, which I highly recommend that, going to a sit-down table restaurant while the park is still open to regular guests if you're attending this event, because it kind of gives you an opportunity to get your bearings, you get some calories in you, and the rest of the day guests can start to filter out. Now, the first thing we needed to do once the event was getting ready to start, and I believe you could have gotten these wristbands as early as 7 p.m., but it was closer to 8 by the time we got in line, was get our wristbands. Now, there were a couple places in the park we could do that. We went over to Tomorrowland, and we waited a lot longer than I would have expected. We waited in that line for almost 20 minutes, which was a little surprising. I'm not exactly sure why it took so long, but they did sell 2,000 tickets to the event the night that we were there. Once the party officially started, we really noticed the crowds drastically disperse. We did see cast members having to have a lot of uncomfortable conversations with people who would try to get in line and did not understand that now was a hard ticketed event and you needed those wristbands. Now, one thing that was super fun is we rode a lot of things that normally we wouldn't because there's always a line and there are things that we just wouldn't ride. So we started our night in Tomorrowland and we had kind of talked through our strategy. We knew in advance that we didn't want to ride anything that was an easy walk-on during the day. We really wanted to focus on the things where there was a line. And I can tell you that every single ride, with the exception of Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and Peter Pan, was a literal walk-on. I mean walk-on. Like even Space Mountain, the only time you waited in line was walking. And if you've been on Space Mountain recently, you know that you have to walk a long way to get on and you have to walk a very long way to get off. So Space Mountain took a little bit of time, but not because there was a line. There was no line. There was no line for Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. There was no line for Haunted Mansion. There was no line for Pirates of the Caribbean. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, again, I think we may have waited, it might have been more closer to 20 minutes, but still, for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, that's nothing. Peter Pan was 15 minutes. Again, that's nothing for Peter Pan. And the fact that there was no pre-planning required, I didn't have to worry if we had fast passes for anything. And you really don't need a planning strategy. Like the only planning strategy I would say is just try to move with purpose as quickly as you can from one ride to the next. Now there are included snacks this evening. You can get popcorn, Mickey bars, and soda. And there was also Mickey ice cream sandwiches, and I think one other kind of frozen treat. And those were available multiple places in the parks. Honestly, the only lines I saw all night were lines to get snacks. So, I mean, we really only stopped for snacks twice. We all had a Mickey bar and we all had some popcorn. And of course, we got a couple of bottled waters and I think somebody got a soda. But all of that is included. So it's actually really fun to just walk up to a snack cart and be given free food or included food. But the one thing I would say, if you're considering this event, number one, it is, I've had a lot of people ask, is it similar to the Christmas party or the Halloween party? No, there is no special entertainment for these after hours magic events. It is all about the rides. Okay, so there's no special parade, there's no special show, there's no special fireworks. The other thing I would say is you're going to want to make sure that everyone in your party has the stamina, because the only reason that I can justify the $99 price tag, so keep in mind we were a party of 4, so that was $400 for 4 people, is the fact that we all are in good shape and we could walk very, very quickly. And so we were really able to cover every single attraction in the Magic Kingdom that we cared to ride that was open during the after hours party, and a couple of attractions we were able to ride twice. We did Pirates twice and we did Space Mountain twice. If you have young kids, I'm not sure that this would be worth your while, because you're going to feel a lot of pressure to get as much out of that 3 hours as possible. You think a regular Magic Kingdom day you feel stressed? Try the 3-hour party where you know how much money you've paid. And it's part of the thrill of the chase, because it is great that there are no lines, but don't forget, it still takes time to walk from attraction to attraction. And you don't realize, but when you wait in a line, even a fast pass line that can be, 15, 20 minutes, you get a little bit of a rest. This 3 hours, we were moving the entire time. There was one point when I just kind of sat on a bench and ate popcorn, and the boys were like, come on, come on, come on. I was like, okay, you know what? I need 10 minutes to just sit here and have a bottle of water and have some popcorn, because there's literally nothing slowing you down. At one point, we were walking through Frontierland, where it can tend to get kind of crowded, kind of over there in front of Bear Country. And there were so few people that it was almost eerie. Like, it kind of freaked me out how few people there were. We could have just, danced. There was so much. We could look down a corridor and see like another family 50 feet away from us, but we would have nobody anywhere around us. So if that is kind of your fantasy, like you think, oh my gosh, would be so amazing to have the Magic Kingdom all to myself, then for you, I would say this is 100% worth the splurge. The only thing we all walked away again saying, oh, wow, okay, it was exhausting. And we really wished that it had been 4 hours instead of 3 hours. We all felt like we could have just maybe slowed down just a little bit if it had, been that extra hour. It does go very, very quickly. And again, it's a pretty big expense. And so you're going to have to pick and choose where you want to spend your vacation dollars. I would highly recommend it, though, if you found yourself on a Walt Disney World vacation and maybe you weren't able to get the fast passes that you wanted, or you have a very limited time, that $99 really can get you an awful lot of enjoyment in only 3 hours. Also, it is not offered all year. It is offered very limited dates. You can go to the Walt Disney World website, and it's not just offered at Magic Kingdom. It's also offered at Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios. I don't believe they have one right now at Epcot, but it is offered at other theme parks as well. And I have heard really good things about the other ones, but the only one that our family has experienced is Magic Kingdom. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you're not subscribed, please make sure you do so. If you'd like to support the channel, if you go down to the description box, I've got listed out all the ways you can do that, and I would really appreciate it. Thanks so much for being here. I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.